Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay as the recording of this video. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not feeling the best. um, I've had several days off of work. Uh, First day back, and I hope it's not too horrible. I'm trying a new platform. Well, semi new. We've had this for a while. First time I think I'm trying all of these. I won't be able to pull up chats, I don't believe, but I don't know. I don't think I like this setup as much. Oh, I forgot to put on my seatbelt. Let me take care of that real quick. Trying to get back in the swing of things, folks. So, I don't have no real topic. Uh, Take care of yourself. I had a type of food poisoning. Um, uh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Campobacteria, I think it was called. Is called. Yeah, boy. I mean, I've had food poisoning before, where it knocks you out for a day or two, and generally you're all right. But oh my god, I guess this particular strand is pretty rough, and I can attest to that. So yeah, I like this setup to the to a degree. It looks like you guys can see more, but I cannot see no. I see you commented, Lee, but good morning. Um, I know that if I get enough viewers on in one shot, I'm able to read and add and then get paid a couple pennies. gas station. Gas station deviled eggs. No, believe it or not, I haven't been eating them in quite some time. Thanks a lot to Leefoot. I've been eating these, uh, oh, I want to say Danishes, apple Danish in the mornings. Um, but I do like the deviled eggs, but I could guarantee you I'm not going to go towards them this morning. Yeah, yeah, that's for truth. I'm lucky that nobody in our group or I should say we're lucky, nobody in our group has any weird food they like to eat before an investigation. Um, there's certain things that people will do that could be very offsetting to your group members. Can you imagine if somebody eating an onion sandwich before an investigation for good luck? Uh, so I hope you guys forgive me for not being very prepared. Oh, possum. Um, I wasn't even 100% sure if I was going to feel good enough to go to work today. I hope everybody had a great Easter. Um, I know it was pretty quiet in my neck of the woods. Um, we were, yeah, like the house, my household itself uh, was not feeling well. And so it was just pretty much a quiet day. Um, I actually went back and, good morning, Phoenix. Hope you're doing well today. And you're saying hi to Leaffoot if he ain't paying attention. Um, yeah, I'm trying something different today, Phoenix. I am, and everybody else, um, I'm using Rumble, which is a different platform. This is the first time it let me stream to Facebook through Rumble. So I'm actually on Rumble, on Locals, um, on YouTube, and on Facebook. So I already see the disadvantage is I cannot, at least I don't think I can highlight comments for people to be able to see what other people are talking about. That's something that they're going to have to fix if they want to keep it going. You did 5 lives already? I can pin comments, I guess. Wow, that's 5 lives. That's crazy. Yeah, I can pin the comments. It's like time. Um, Generally, for those on the other platforms that I, uh, maybe that's one thing that I don't like about Rumble is I don't know if it keeps streaming if I lose service like StreamYard. But as I was saying, I generally try to have something to talk about. It's the paranormal and supernatural. Um, I try to talk about that, keep it relevant to the channel. Bright lights, but I wasn't so lucky today. Um, like I was saying with this platform, though, I think if it's 10 viewers or more, it opens up for ads where I could just say quick. I guess it all depends on how quickly you talk. Quick 20-second ad where you read their campaign and then you get like 10 cents a view or something like that. Which, if you do that several times a week, it adds up, right? Though I'm not sure if I'd be able to really do that driving down the road, so maybe I'm beating myself up Good, good morning, Raven. Raven, I did see your message, or I read your comment. I don't think it was a direct message. I was kind of out of it for the last week. I do need to touch on what you commented. I need to go back and find it and see if I could offer any advice or whatever the case may be. Um, but I did see it. I apologize for not getting back over to you. I just been kind of out of it. Loads of money. Yeah, no doubt. Um, I will not knock it though. Through Facebook and such, I've gotten a couple dollars a month, which bought me. You guys bought me a cup of coffee last month, I believe it was. So hey, I ain't complaining. Coffee, you know what, guys? Some mornings that's hard to come up with. Some mornings I'm that broke. So thank you all for watching. No doubt. Drive around in circles and circles. Did I leave? No, okay. Um, yeah, so I'm definitely not earning. But like I said, a cup of coffee nowadays that stuff ain't cheap. I'm not talking about Starbucks stuff. I'm talking about the gas station where it's like $2.70 for an extra large cup of coffee. All that extra caffeine, all that good stuff. So yeah, as I was saying, though, I was um, sitting back and had a quiet Easter. Usually, I would have a house full. We I have 22 grandchildren, 23 grandchildren, and generally my house is pretty full with them all. Um, though I did touch back on my childhood and watched watched classic Easter specials yesterday morning. Like Here Comes Peter Cottontail and the Bernstein Bears, which here's my paranormal links for the day. Uh, have you guys heard of the Mandela effect, where something is like the Bernstein Bears is now being called the Bearstein Bears? And they say that's the way it's always been. But there's a lot of people that remember it like me as the Bearstein Bears. Your coffee is free. Your coffee is free. Really? Picked up alive. Or, yeah, picked up alive. Picked up voices. 6 cup already. Oh, uh, yeah, these roads are normal. I mean, I've been on a 6 lane highway where it's, or 8 lane, where it's 4 lanes on each side. Um, so it takes me about 25 minutes to get to work, about 35 because I stop for coffee. Um, that's cool. You got a voice on your last live. That's one good thing about lives is people are, you got more eyes on everything. You get about 10 people watching. That's 10 extra set of eyes that you wouldn't normally have. Mandela effect. Yeah, that stuff is there's a lot of different things that I remember, and people are saying that are different. And I haven't done it to my significant other in quite a while, but I'll start asking her questions like, "Hey, do you remember the Monopoly guy? Yeah. Do you remember what he looks like? Yeah. Do you remember this about him?" And she'll stop and look at me and say, "Oh, you're about that Mandela thing, aren't you?" She's got patience of a saint to deal with me. Oh, this would be. Oh, this is nothing. This is pretty laid back area for the most part. The worst thing we got to worry about this, especially this time of day, is deer running across the road or wildlife, bear. I've had black bear run out in front of us. Um, it's not that big of a situation. This light usually blinking at this time of day. I don't know why it's not, but yeah, probably the biggest road I've been on is 8 lanes, where it's kind of like this, but instead of 2 on each side, we have 4 on each side. That gets to be quite the. You really gotta pay attention. Um, Probably the worst places I've driven, because I've been all over the states. Um, Jersey is pretty tough. New Jersey, they're very aggressive drivers. You know, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to get pushed around. Um, Pretty much, that's probably the worst. Oh no, Pittsburgh sucks. Not It's so busy, and the way the city is laid out, if you're not from there, it's very confusing. And the worst thing about it is you could look out your left window and see where you want to go, and it's only like 2 or 3 blocks over, but you have to drive 2 or 3 miles down the road and backtrack to get to the spot that you see a block or two over. Now that gets frustrating. That's probably the place I hate to drive the most. Um, some of the prettier places I've been to, as far as when you're driving, is Tennessee, um, Colorado, the Midwest. Um, those places are pretty nice to visit. This is the area that gets a little. You gotta pay attention through here because they like to make it pretty tight fitting. But semis and such get through here, so my little car should do just fine. I mean, it has been doing fine. Yeah. But and then the furthest we traveled for an investigation was was oh, I don't know, down in North Carolina. USS North Carolina battleship was where we went to investigate with Johnson from Crossover Paranormal. Um, that was the furthest we drove. That was that was a crazy drive. It took us like over a day to get there because we stopped and stayed the night somewhere. Um, it just, I would set that up totally different than how I planned it. I had work that morning, and I think I got out early. I think we left Warren around 8:30 that morning after I drove 4 or 5 hours. Then I drove several hours after that, and then um, we stopped for the night, and we made it the next day after several hours to the ship. It just, I don't know, it was weird because it should have only been like a 7, 8 hour trip. It ended up being like 14 hours. I don't know what was up with that. And then we investigated all night. Then, like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, we got back in the car and headed back home. Yeah, went through Gettysburg and all that on the way back. That was a that was a long trip. I would definitely plan that different next time. Huh. I just seen an option for donations, whatever the hell that is. Well, I know what donations are. I'm not that slow, but that's something new Rumble must be doing. So what do you think, guys? Get coffee or go to work? I know I always ask that this time of day, but you think it's a coffee morning or do you think it's a work morning? Hello, Soul Stars. I hope you're doing well. This lane is the left lane, and the four-way lane is the passing lane, fast lane. Um, it's yeah, it's the right lane on the 2 lane, or well, we call them 4 lane. The right lane is for your just casual driving, or if you're a little slower or whatever. Left lane is to pass. I'm glad you made it, Soul Star. Um, so yeah, and then on the bigger 3 lane or 4 lanes or whatever, it's pretty much whatever lane you want. Go as fast, well, not as fast as you want, though people do it. But on the the farthest right lane is still your slower lane. The other thing that I'm not gonna care about is about this Rumble is we won't have the ending, the outro. We won't have Leaffoot telling you I'll get off his porch. That might be sad. But guys, I am here to get some coffee. So I'm not 100% sure how we end it on this. So that might take me a minute. Oh, okay. So your left lane is your fast lane. Cool. Or your left lane is your passing, or is your slower lane. The right lane is the passing lane. Cool. So let's see here. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I appreciate y'all stopping in. So, and I will try to research a topic for tomorrow. And I think I figured out how to end the stream. So, everybody have a lovely day. I hope you had a great weekend. Raven, I'll check back that stuff and see if I can find your message. If not, I'll message you. And as always, my friends, stay spooky.